Mackenzie Johnston with Livestock Digital Daily, bringing you your September 9th cattle industry headlines. Brought to you by AgRisk Advisors. They manage your risk so you can manage your operation. With over 20 years of experience, AgRisk Advisors brings you honest and transparent advice for your operation. They offer insurance solutions to help you minimize risk and maximize profitability for your farming and ranching operations. They might not be able to make it rain, but they can sure ease the pain. If you want to learn more about pasture, rangeland, forage insurance, go ahead and reach out to AgRisk Advisors. They can help you understand what PRF insurance is all about and what it can do for your operation. Meeting Place has reported in 2024, Haarlem, a town over in the Netherlands, they're going to ban meat advertising in public spaces in an effort to reduce meat consumption and spotlight the issue of greenhouse gas emissions and other factors impacting climate change. Supporters of the ban cited from climate scientists at the University of Illinois that have found the food production system, especially for beef products, they have a negative effect on the environment in terms of water use and greenhouse gases from cattle. Researchers also noted that cows, pigs, and other animals raised for food production are responsible for 57% of all food production emissions and 33% of all planet heating emissions. Meat isn't the only thing that's going to be banned from advertising over there in Haarlem. Ads for holiday flights, fossil fuels, and cars running on fossil fuels will no longer be advertised. Brett Crosby, Region 4 Director for USCA, recently wrote an article concerning the need for cattle market reform. According to Crosby, a blog post published by the U.S. Chamber of Commerce in July claiming that Congress is rushing to consider aggressive legislation to regulate beef markets. Back in February of 2020, at a USCA event, a group of producers came together to discuss the idea of reigniting a concept previously advanced by Iowa's Senator Chuck Grassley to improve the cash cattle market. Grassley introduced the concept all the way back in 2002 as the Transparency for Independent Livestock Producers Act. It would require 25% of a packer's daily kill to be purchased on the spot market, so negotiated cash trade, exactly what we need. That concept was introduced 20 years ago, and since then, according to Crosby, we've seen a 75% decrease in the number of cattle feedlots from 55,472 to 13,379. We've also lost approximately 1,200 cow-calf producers and backgrounders each year since 2002. Crosby explained that the notion of rushing into legislation is somewhat ridiculous considering the number of independent producers that our industry continues to lose. Talk of consolidation and anti-competitive practices did not just spring up here in the past few years. USCA and other stakeholders have been working to restore leverage and true price discovery in the cattle marketplace for decades. And Crosby believes that the passage of the Cattle Price Discovery and Transparency Act and the Meat and Poultry Special Investigator Act would represent a significant step toward increased leverage and true price discovery. At the end of the day, the U.S. cattle and beef industries need a referee to ensure a competitive playing field free from interference. We also need to make sure that we have a healthy and viable cash market to keep our independent producers in business. Crosby closed by saying it's time to set aside the interests of multinational meat packers and secure the future of our sovereign food system. Very well said. Today's cattle market highlights are brought to you by Circle 5 Cow School. If you want to learn how to preg check your own cows or start AIing, Circle 5 Cow School is definitely the way to go. Almost every week they are hosting classes somewhere between Texas and Tennessee. In a couple weeks here, they're going to be hosting a school down in Winsboro, Louisiana. If you are in that area, I encourage you to check it out. Otherwise, I encourage you to check out their schedule at www.circle5cowschool.com. That is the number 5 in there. Or you can go ahead and just give them a follow on Facebook. Drovers has reported average break-evens for cattle placed on feed last week were just pennies shy of $153 per hundredweight, according to the Sterling Beef Profit Tracker. The average cost of feeding a steer to finished weight was 28% higher for cattle marketed last week and is projected to be 37% higher for cattle placed on feed last week at roughly $600 per head year over year. Last week, cattle feeders saw average profits of $116 per head as the 5-area fed steer price averaged $143.88 per hundredweight. That was 14% higher than what we saw during the same week last year. Estimated beef packer margins for the same week, so last week, they were $132 per head. That was $6 higher than what they were getting the week before, but still 88% lower than what packers were receiving last year at this time. Cattle slaughter last week totaled an estimated 638,000 head, down 40,000 head or 3% from the same week last year. And speaking of cattle slaughter, according to Cassie Fish with the beef breed, USDA's actual slaughter data report released on Thursday showed the fed slaughter for the week ending August 27th at 533,320 head, the largest weekly fed slaughter of 2022 and the largest fed slaughter occurring in August since 2010. Pretty significant. This is proof that plants are running better Monday through Friday. Beef demand is still strong, and packer margins, even though they are smaller, they are still acceptable. That is all I have for you guys. That is all I have for you guys this week. I hope everyone had a good week. I hope everyone stayed cool. It looks like it's finally going to cool down here in central Nebraska. You guys have a wonderful weekend, and I will catch you next week.